Physical Kanban boards have been around for a long time, but the recent COVID-19 pandemic really brought the need for an online Kanban board to the forefront. Origins. Kanban is a scheduling system for lean manufacturing, also called just-in-time manufacturing or the Toyota production system. Tadashi Ono, an industrial engineer at Toyota, developed Kanban in the 1940s to improve manufacturing efficiency. The Kanban name comes from two Japanese words, kan meaning sign and ban meaning a board. 2003 to 2008, Kanban for the software industry. As a Toyota production system was gaining popularity and word about it was spreading, project managers from different kinds of industries tried to apply its core teachings to their work. The most significant breakthrough came from the software industry. Around that time, project management and software has already been gradually shifting from cumbersome and inefficient processes like the CMMI towards a more light, agile approach, which got formalized under the Agile Manifesto and published in 2001. Origins continued. January 2009, Kanban gains momentum. The truly golden year for Kanban was 2009. In January 2009, drawing from his experience at Corbis, Corey Landis published Scrumban, Essays on Kanban Systems for Lean Software Development, which was an attempt to mix Scrum, Lean, and Kanban. Probably the first attempts to introduce the principles of Kanban into software development methods were made at Microsoft. To increase productivity, software development teams have started to add elements of Scrum and Kanban as an extension to the existing feature crew model and bug jail method. This has resulted in the first successful Scrumban project in 2004. Past 2010, Kanban for Everyone. In April 2010, David Anderson published Kanban, Successful Evolutionary Change for Your Technology Business. Even though it focused on technology businesses, it offers some general guidance on the implementation and use of Kanban. Finally, in 2016, Essential Kanban Condensed was published. Word is an agile project management tool designed to help visualize work, limit work in progress, and maximize efficiency, or flow. It can help both agile and DevOps teams establish order in their daily work. Kanban boards use cards, columns, and continuous improvement to help technology and service teams commit to the right amount of work and get it done. Kanban has 6 core practices. Number 1, visualizing workflow using a Kanban board. The Kanban board is organized in columns representing the development stage for each element of software functionality. The cards on the board might contain single user stories or recently discovered defects on sticky notes, and the team would advance them from to do to doing and done as the project progresses. Number 2, limiting the amount of work in progress, WIP, at any given time. Developers are encouraged to complete their current task before starting another. This reduces lead time, improves work quality, and increases the team's ability to deliver software functionality frequently to their stakeholders. Number 3, managing workflow to reduce waste by understanding the current value flow, analyzing places where it is stalled, defining changes, and then implementing the changes. Kanban has 6 core practices. Continued. Number 4, make process policies explicit, e.g. write down your reasons for selecting items to work on and the criteria to define done. Number 5, focusing on continuous improvement by creating feedback loops where changes are introduced based on process data and the effects of change on the process are measured after changes are made. Number 6, make process changes collaboratively and involve all team members and other stakeholders as needed. Note, I've read several different definitions of the 6 Kanban practices, and although they might be worded slightly differently, they all say basically the same thing as above. Shown is a basic physical Kanban board. This one has 4 columns, labeled To Do, Work in Progress, Pending, and Done. The basic concept is the project owner will create a list of tasks to be done by creating a sticky note with a task on it. In this case, it looks like each project or work group has different colored sticky note. When a developer with the required skills to complete the task is available, he or she will pick up the sticky from the To Do column and move it to the Work in Progress column. When the task is complete, they will move it to the Pending column, most likely for peer review prior to being merged into a developer tier where the work can be tested in a production-like environment. Once testing is complete, the sticky note will be moved to done and the process begins anew. With these four columns, one can visualize the amount of work required to complete the task as well as progress of the workflow from to do to done. The obvious disadvantage of such a system is that sticky notes aren't really designed to be reused multiple times, like moving the sticky note across the board. The sticky note in the done column frequently falls to the floor at the slightest breeze, like someone walking in front of the Kanban board at a not brisk pace. Pause and think. What core principle is being violated by the basic Kanban board? Number 1, visualizing workflow. Number 2, limiting the amount of work in progress, WIP. Number 3, managing workflow. Pause and think. What core principle is being violated by a basic physical Kanban board? Let's review the 3 possible answers and see which one is correct. Number 1, visualizing workflow. False. Visualizing the work is present on a basic physical Kanban board. There are tasks in every column and one can view the progress and status of each job on the basic physical Kanban board. Number 2, limiting the amount of work in progress. True. There are no work in progress limits viewable on the basic physical Kanban board. Number 3, managing workflow. False. By moving the sticky notes across the board, one can manage the flow of work. Physical Kanban boards have been the centerpiece of Scrum and other Agile methodologies' daily stand-up meetings for many years when the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic struck in 2020, forcing the majority of IT work groups to adopt work-from-home strategy. Gathering around a physical Kanban board for daily stand-ups was no longer practical in an age of Zoom meetings. Another type of Kanban board was needed. Shown is a list of 10 free online Kanban boards. We're going to concentrate on the first one, Trello. One of the most popular online Kanban tools for project management is Trello. With this program, you can better organize your tasks as it grants users unlimited access to boards, cards, team boards for no cost at all. Apart from that, it also gives you the ability to label or tag tasks to prevent any confusion when looking for a specific task. An advantage of the Trello board is that it provides for displaying the WIP limit of each column. The WIP limit is generally set by the group or project leader. In the example above, you can see that the implement column that the group is over their WIP limit at 9 tasks being worked on of 8 allowed. This is fine, but if a group is normally working above their WIP limit, then the project leader should probably increase the WIP limit to be more consistent with the group's work style. Another advantage is that the project leader can see who is assigned to each task as their initials are in the bottom right hand corner of each card. A red bell at the bottom left means that the task is a new comment on the detail page. Labels can be created for each card to denote messages like blocked. The Trello board detail page is available by double-clicking on the card on the main board. The detail page provides additional information about the task. There is a description field if more information about the task is required above what is in the header of the card. Below that is the Done checkbox that the developer can check to indicate that he or she is done with the task and it is ready for peer review if required. Next is the link section. In this case, there is a link to the Jira issue for this task. And finally, there is a comment section where the developer can document his or her progress on the task or why the task is blocked. On the right-hand column, there are a number of interesting items, starting with members, so that we can indicate who is working on the task. Below that are labels, where we can pick a label like blocked, so the viewer of the board will know that the task is blocked. In the power-up section is aging. One of the jobs that a person creating tasks in the starting column to do, backlog, or whatever term best conveys the starting point to your team, is to break down complicated tasks into smaller, manageable tasks that can be completed within a few days' work. If the card is starting to show age via the aging power-up, then something may be wrong, or the person isn't working on the card due to illness or vacation. Takeaways. Online Kanban boards are better than physical Kanban boards because they obey the 6 core principles and include far more information than a physical Kanban board can. After working with both a basic physical Kanban board and an online Trello board, in my opinion, the online Trello board is far superior. It doesn't have the problem of sticky notes falling off the board after weeks of use. It has the advantage of providing far more information per card than a sticky note ever could, and it is endlessly customizable with power-ups and add-ons. Butler is one of the available add-ons. With Butler, one can create rules like when someone picks up a card and moves it to implement, it automatically adds that person's logged in username to the card, and it is very useful for creating new cards on a schedule. Need to perform a task annually? Schedule it with Butler. It will create a new Trello card with the assigned task name and place it in whatever column is designated. The next available worker can pick the card up. Look it up yourself. My primary reference for this presentation was Software Engineering, a Practitioner's Approach, the class textbook. I also used a few links as shown in the right column. This has been Jack Knoll, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation on online Kanban boards. This is an Agile project management tool.